First up is Rainbow Six Extraction. Now, this is a co-op shooter, which is normally in games I'm really interested in, but this is a little different than a lot of the rest. Whereas the others focus on mass amounts of enemies, Rainbow Six Extraction is focusing more on abilities and stealth and tactics. So, rather than just having huge amounts of weaker enemies, you'll have several stronger ones which require certain tactics and setups in order to ambush them without alerting the rest of the horde and probably overwhelming your team. And this has been backed up by the director today, who has said that guns are not enough. He says there are a bunch of games in the genre that are very fun as they allow the player to mindlessly mow down hundreds of enemies per session, but our main focus from the inception was to do something that was different. This came from the belief that guns are not enough and extends through Extraction's development. Expanding on that, he says, it means that in order to be successful, you have to do proper recon, identify the threats and opportunities, communicate with your teammates, and use the right gadgets at the right time. Most importantly, to evaluate when it's time to move forwards and when it's time to extract. Now, this is a bit of a gamble. We know that the co-op horde shooter is a genre which a lot of people like. Payday 2 has been going for years, and yet still pulls in a decent number of players, relatively. But Rainbow Six Extraction really seems to be doing something a bit different. And while I did like Rainbow Six's PvE mode, it got boring very quickly. And I think that will be the problem with this. Sure, you can do tactics. Sure, you can do setups. But at the end of the day, if you've just got certain types, and each of those types has a very specific method of getting rid of them, that's what people will do. And people will always learn the fastest, most efficient way that the developer hasn't thought of to deal with an enemy, and that's the way people will do it and just cheese through every map. Why? Because people want the most rewards as fast and easy as possible. And that's not fun. And they're not having fun. But that's what people will do to get in-game rewards, and then when they get them, they'll leave. And that's my issue with Rainbow Six Extraction. The gameplay I've seen could be decent, but really, it's gonna come down to playing it and just a question of longevity. When you have a horde mode shooter, it's always fun. Just slaughtering massive hordes of enemies is always fun in a game. That's why Left 4 Dead 2 is still played. But when you make things less intense, when you make things less action-based, and you just have certain setups, I think you can get very repetitive, and I'm not sure about this one. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, and I hope it's excellent. But only time will tell. In a bid to stem the tide of an ever-decreasing player count, Marvel Avengers just seems to be throwing anything at the wall and hoping something sticks. This time they are now allowing anyone in the group to play the same character. This will feel a little bit weird if you suddenly have 3 Hulks running around, and no doubt will lead to many opportunities where people just find the strongest characters to play in a big mob and go around and just spam everyone to death. I hope that's not the case, as that could very quickly ruin the gameplay just for the people that are left around, but who knows? This has been tested before, and apparently this was turned on due to player feedback, so hopefully everyone's happy with what they wished for. For you PC players out there, Escape from Tarkov has confirmed that there will be a wipe in 0.12.11. Obviously, as any Escape from Tarkov players will know, this is the biggest time in the actual game. Everyone's fresh, everyone's got new accounts, everyone's on low gear. The first few days are some of the best gaming you can get, and generally, as everyone starts to get better gear, that's when people start leaving, and they just really wait for another wipe. So, as always, player count will go through the roof, and it is expected to be sometime this week when it happens. At this point, there's been an event running where raiders were on every map, all the bosses were on reserve, and everything just went mental. At the moment, all the ammo, you can buy as much as you want, and everything is incredibly cheap. They have completely and utterly destroyed the economy, which means we've got to wipe now, and it's got to be close. So, lots of wipes are normally Thursday. I think we can expect a wipe sometime over the next few days, with Thursday probably being at the latest at this point. So, if you want to take part in the event, get in there now, and if you want to take part in the wipe, it's going to be good. There are some things I never wondered about and never wanted to know, and this is definitely one of them. A Twitter user called Scythe has modded 3D Sonic to be first person. Yes, that's as horrible as it sounds. I'm not going to make it full screen because it's rather rough to watch, but I'll leave it around somewhere just so you can get an impression of what it's like. Honestly, I have no idea how he's staying on the track, let alone anything else, as I can barely follow what on earth is going on, and I'm not even the one playing. This isn't really news, but it is gaming, and I thought if it's going to scar my brain, maybe you'd like it as well. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Team Fortress 2 is a game that dates all the way back to 2007, and yet it's just hit its highest ever concurrent player numbers. Yes, 151,000. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's literally the most people playing it at the same time ever. And that actually beats its last record, which was just in December at 147,000. I never expect a game this old to do this well, but you see, it had a massive bot problem, and they've finally done some work for it. And it's not even much, but apparently it's enough. They've done quality of life improvements so that if you're doing a vote kick and you get enough votes, it just ends prematurely. And they've changed how many times you can change your name in a server, so you can't do things like impersonate other players. For a long time now, bots have just completely and utterly ravaged Team Fortress 2, and it seems to have decimated the population, and I think developers really need to be paying attention to this. Who knows the player count that Team Fortress 2 could have had if they've actually had constant development and been working on this problem all the time. And I think games definitely need to pay attention. Warzone especially has been renowned for the amount of people that have been hacking, and it's all right going to your big Twitch streamers and going, look, if you get a hacker in your game, we'll ban him live. It'll give us great PR. I'm sure that's great for the streamers. It doesn't help everyone else though, does it? And it's really everybody else that I'm concerned with, because I'm a member of everybody else. I do genuinely think that a lot of game studios are probably undervaluing the exact amount of work that this kind of stuff takes. And if you can't keep up with the software challenge, then we've had previous examples of them going straight after the developers of the hacks, taking them to court, and then quite often they just fold when they start getting those kind of messages. These are just normal people, and there's plenty of games for them to make hacks for. They don't actually need to make it for yours, and nobody wants to get dragged through the legal system. So play hardball if you need to. Do what you need to get these things shut down. Because as Team Fortress 2 has found out, it could well be killing your game. So that's it from me. If you liked the video, press like, hit subscribe for more videos in the future, and hit the notification bell to be notified. Let me know what you thought of any of the topics down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.